evening. I thought tonight we'd do a song. This following message here's me talking about needs here. And I thought this song would be fitting for us to sing. Do you know what your needs are? This song is called Just When I Need Him Most. Just when I need Him, Jesus is near. Just when I falter, just when I fear, ready to help me, ready to cheer. Just when I need Him most, just when I need Him most. Comfort and cheer, just when I need Him most. You need Him. Just when I need Him, Jesus is true, never forsaking all the way through, giving for burdens, pleasures anew. Need Him most, just when I need Him most, just when I need Him most. Jesus is near to comfort and cheer, just when I need Him most. I need Him, Jesus is strong, bearing my burdens all the day long. For all my sorrow, giving a song, just when I need Him most, just when I need Him most, just when I need Him most. Jesus is near to comfort and cheer, just when I need Him most. Just when I need Him, He is my all, answering when upon Him I call, tenderly watching lest I should fall, just when I need Him most, just when I need Him most, just when I need Him most. Jesus is near to comfort and cheer, just when I need Him most. Good evening. Glad that you could join me again. Tonight I'd like to continue to look at the Beatitudes and what I've entitled A Picture of the True Disciple of God. And this time we're going to look at what I've entitled Mindfulness. You know, God designed the body in such a way that we have daily needs. Spend time around a baby and you quickly see life's most basic needs, mainly to be fed, to drink and to eat. For a baby, they're one and the same. Other needs might include sleeping and being comforted and loved, shelter and protection. Now, these needs are universal. And based on these needs, a psychologist by the name of Abraham Maslow created what is known as a hierarchy of needs. By taking a look at these most basic needs, he began to add others, compiling them into different levels, forming a pyramid. Maslow was studying human motivation. He was questioning as to what motivates human behavior. What motivates us? What is the driving force as to why we do what we do? And Maslow's theory was based on needs. It's our needs that drive us to do what we do, Maslow's theory suggests. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is one of the best known theories of motivation. According to humanist psychologist Abraham Maslow, our actions are motivated in order to achieve certain needs. His hierarchy suggests that people are motivated to fulfill basic needs before moving on to other, more advanced needs. Maslow was interested in learning about what makes people happy and things that they do to achieve that aim. As a humanist, Maslow believed that people have an inborn desire to be all that they can be and reach their maximum potential, to be fully human, if you will. And in order to achieve these ultimate goals, a number of more basic needs must be met, such as the need for food, safety, love, and self-esteem. Maslow's hierarchy of needs starts at the lowest level, known as physiological needs. These physiological needs are what we began discussing at the beginning of this message, that can be seen and are especially evident with infants. They are basic physical requirements, which include the need for food, water, sleep, and warmth. And once these lower level needs have been met, people can then move on to the next level of needs. It's important that these basic needs be met to be moved on to higher level needs. We need to survive in order to thrive. You know, I love what Jesus says in the fourth beatitude. The fourth beatitude is one that we'll be looking at tonight. It's found in Matthew's Gospel, Matthew chapter 5, verse number 6. It says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled." Do you remember your first word, or were you told what your first word was? You know, often we've got to communicate our needs with others. We communicate our needs with others. And so, perhaps as a baby, as an infant, perhaps your first word was something like mommy or daddy. It was the need for affection. Mine, I was told, was juice. Apparently, I was thirsty. It seems like I stay thirsty. I drink a lot of fluids most of the time. Here in this beatitude, Jesus says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled." Blessed are you when your basic needs are for a higher cause. The Jerusalem Bible translation states, "Happy those who hunger and thirst for what is right. They shall be satisfied." You know, to hunger and to thirst is to be alive. It's to be human. It's part of our makeup, a part of our physical needs. Here, Jesus blends the physical, using physical terms such as hunger and thirst, to meet the spiritual, demonstrated and carried out, righteousness. The two are linked. We are physical and possess a spirit. As the teacher in the book of Ecclesiastes states, remember your Creator. Remember Him before the silver cord is severed and the golden bowl is broken, before the pitcher is shattered at the spring and the wheel broken at the well, and the dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. You know how sad it is that many living today have forgotten. They've forgotten their Creator, that they are created. They live only for the physical, by what their eyes can see. They chase after physical pleasures, thinking that it will fill the spiritual hunger and thirst inside of them. Jesus said, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Do you see the desire here that's described? The need that is here illustrated for us? You know, I don't think God makes too hard a turn for those who seek Him. You know, a preacher and apologist by the name of Lee Strobel spent years talking with a well-known atheist professor, and throughout their conversations together, the atheist began to change some of his views. The atheist changed from an atheist to an agnostic. You know, an atheist was saying that there is no God. An agnostic simply means that they don't know. It's without knowing. Here was a man who was doubtful. He changed from atheist to agnostic, and there in his doubts, he wasn't sure if there was a God or not. He believed there wasn't enough sufficient evidence to sway him to either side. And it's later said and believed that he did come to believe. And as he laid sick there in his hospital bed dying, if before he did come to faith, Lee Strobel visited with him and gave him these few verses that's found in the book of Proverbs, chapter 2. It says, my son, if you accept my words and store up my commands within you, turning your ear to wisdom and applying your heart to understanding, indeed, if you call out for insight and cry aloud for understanding, and if you look for it as for silver and search for it as for hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. You see, this professor, he prided himself on his vast intellect. He prided himself on his years of studying and teaching, and pride had taken over, and he worshipped at the altar of logic and reason. And yet he was discovering at the end of his life that he was empty. He had hungered and thirst for knowledge, for degrees, for honoraries, for books and the recordings and accumulation of ideas, but he had not sought to satisfy the soul with God's truth, His righteousness. This professor had sought rather to build his own kingdom. He had mounted for his walls of books. His castle consisted of the world's top universities and colleges. He adorned himself in the scholastics. But the one who said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, he did not turn to hear and to understand. For if he had done so, he would have heard the Master say, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Happy those who hunger and thirst for what is right, they shall be satisfied. Happy are they who know where to go, who to turn to have their needs met. C.S. Lewis, in his book Mere Christianity, states, creatures are not born with desires unless satisfaction for those desires exist. A baby feels hunger. Well, there is such a thing as food. A duckling wants to swim. Well, there is such a thing as water. If I find in myself a desire which no experience in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that I was made for another world. Dear friends, what is your desire for? What are you seeking? Are you building a kingdom for yourself with your own hungers and thirsts? Or are we hearing the Master who calls us to have higher heavenly desires? Who says to us, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness. Who calls us to himself and teaches us what is right. Who says, come, all you who are thirsty, come to the waters. Come, all who are thirsty. Anyone can come and eat and drink this meal free of charge. The only requirement is that they come. In Isaiah chapter 55, the prophet urges everyone to take this opportunity for forgiveness while it is so freely available. Friend, have you heard his call to come and be satisfied? Jesus says, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. I hope this message has been a blessing to you, and that you will have a blessed week, and that you will continue to seek him, the one who satisfies. Amen. Amen. Have a blessed week. Till next time. Bye-bye.